Colosseum. This huge amphitheater, the largest of its kind ever built by the Roman Empire and the largest of their constructions to survive, remained a model for sport facilities right up to modern times. Built by Vespasian in 72th century and enlarged by the addition of a fourth story by his son Titus, the Colosseum was a venue for public spectacles and shows, even mock sea battles. A wooden floor that was 83 by 48 meters covered 2 additional underground stories with tunnels, rooms, cells, and passages that provided space for gladiators, workers, wild animals, and storage. Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, La Torre Pendente, is just one of many attractions in the city of Pisa, one whose world fame comes not from the considerable elegance of its design, but from a flaw. Work began on the tower in the 1100s, and the sinking, which led to the lean, began by the time the tower reached the 3rd story. Leaning more and more over the centuries before restoration work in the 90s. Pompeii in Mount Vesuvius. The still smoking volcano of Mount Vesuvius looks down on the remains of the city destroyed in AD 79, but the same eruption also preserved many of the city's art treasures, frescoes, mosaics, and sculptures that were encased in the lava as it cooled. Near Pompeii is the excavated city of Herculaneum, destroyed by the same eruption in 79 CE, but buried in lava and ash that solidified and froze the town just as it was. Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a stunning stretch of coastline along the Sorrentine Peninsula south of Naples and Sorrento. Hillside towns are built precariously along the steep mountainsides that cascade down to the sea. The main towns along here are Positano and Amalfi, with its colorfully domed cathedral. You can tour the coast by road or hop between towns by boat for different perspectives of the dramatic and almost vertical shore. While walking past a stretch all along the coast, the most breathtaking scenery for walkers is the Sentiero degli Dei footpath of the gods at the western end from Positano. My favorite viewpoint is far above the Amalfi Drive in the village of Ravello. Clinging to the steep mountainside in terraces, Ravello was a sizable town in the 13th century, and the gardens of its former villas make scenic belvederes for enjoying flower-framed views of the coast below. Florence Duomo Santa Maria del Fiore. Regarded as one of the finest cathedrals in the world, the Duomo Santa Maria del Fiore, or the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, dominates the Florence skyline. The cathedral was built between the 13th and 15th centuries, with the most famous piece being the extraordinary dome, completed by Filippo Brunelleschi in 1434. The cathedral's bell tower stands close beside the cathedral in Pisa del Duomo, covered in the same patterned marble typical of Tuscan Romanesque architecture. Designed by Giotto, the campanile stands 82 meters tall, and you can climb the 414 steps up to a viewing platform with fantastic views of the city and the dome. The Grand Canal in Venice. A gondola ride through the canals of Venice is a tradition that travelers have been enjoying for centuries. Venice is a city of islands, and the canals have long been the city's main streets, connected by a labyrinth of narrow passageways. The Grand Canal is the largest and most famous of these waterways, cutting a wide S-shaped route through the city. Along its sides are the grandest of the palaces once owned by the wealthiest and most powerful families of the Venetian Republic. The best way to see many of the grand palaces, whose fronts face the water, is from Vaporetto right along the Grand Canal. Be sure your gondola ride and your sightseeing exploration on foot include some of the more atmospheric smaller canals lined by old buildings that have remained relatively unchanged for hundreds of years. Although Venetians stand during the crossing, you can sit on one of the narrow benches if you feel uneasy. The small fare saves long walks between bridges. Roman Forum. The Roman Forum may require a little imagination or a good tour guide to understand exactly what this area once looked like and how it was used. However, its historical significance as the heart of the Roman Empire cannot be overstated. Temples were built first, then public buildings, and soon the area became Rome's governmental center. Commerce followed with the buildings of market halls that made the Forum the hub of public life for the city and eventually the Roman Empire. A brief history of Paestum. Paestum is an ancient Greek city originally built in this location by Greek colonies from probably the city of Sybaris in the 7th century BC. Its original name seems to have been Poseidonia, a name that highlighted his special connection with the god of the sea Poseidon, and seems to have changed name to Paestum and then Paestum respectively when taken over by the Lucanians first and the Romans next. The Cathedral of San Marco in Venice, with its facade of colorful Gothic mosaics on the outside and glided mosaics on the inside of the building and paintings of the story of the New Testament, is considered a unique architectural work in Italy and the most famous church in Venice. This opera house is designed in neoclassical style with red and gold colors. Its great architect is Giuseppe Piermarini. In addition to theater and opera, La Scala Milan has an academy for professional training in music, dance, and opera. This academy, under the leadership of the board of directors of Alexander Pereira and Luisa Vinci, is one of the world's leading institutions in the field of comprehensive and professional education in all fields of art.